Hello, guys. It is another edition of Fitness Over 30. I'm Omari, and I'm joined here with Rebecca. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Guys, today we have a nice topic where we're talking about the benefits of having a personal trainer and or health coach, or both, as Rebecca is. She's a personal trainer and a health coach all in one. I myself am just a personal trainer, so we'll rely on her for a lot of the health coaching tips. But what do you think about people who just decide, I'm going to start exercising, and they don't inquire about a professional and they just get started on the regimen? Maybe they actually Google something.
Oh, Google. Well, I get really excited when people decide they want to start taking care of themselves.
Yes, me
There's
too.
a lot of information out there, and you do want to work with somebody who can help direct you down the right path, that understands your goals, that's on the same page with you, knows what you want, and knows what you're doing, and someone who's going to be honest. Like, if you're going to hire someone, not write down in a journal what you think they want to hear. Tell them the truth.
That's right.
Trust that person with your information and trust that they're going to help you. Because we kind of have a tendency to kind of lie to ourselves. That never happened. Nobody saw that. Right.
Exactly. I'm not overeating. I'm just overweight because it's genetics.
Yeah. That didn't count. I ate over the sink. Those calories don't count.
Exactly.
That was a 20-minute workout. It was 30 minutes. I mean, let's be honest. And when it comes to the meal plan side of it, right? Let's be honest with what we're doing so that health coach can help you. Be honest with our stressing so that they can help you relax, which is a part of a problem. Be honest about your sleep habits so they can help you get better sleep, because that can cause your hunger hormones to go up, cause overeating.
Yeah, so you believe strongly in going to bed at the same time and getting up at the same time?
I do believe strongly in that.
All right.
I have to say I understand that it's not the easiest thing to do, but I do try to stay within a realm of that and getting your body clock and your circadian rhythm in the right place so that that's going on every day. Being honest about how much you're going to exercise. If you've never exercised before, you're not going to go run a marathon.
No.
Okay? And you shouldn't.
And you probably shouldn't start off at 4 to 5 days a week either.
No, you should not. You absolutely should not. You should start out small, get used to what you're doing, and work with somebody who is into your goals.
Yes.
Not into what they want to make you into what you want.
We see that a lot in our industry, don't we? Where people who are like a bodybuilder and then they get a client and they're going to only bodybuild them. Or we have a person who's into Pilates and they only going to give them Pilates, which I'm not going to say that's bad, but you want to make sure that you have a trainer or a coach who's going to, like you said, pick those that are for both of you. Mainly for the client.
For the client. You have to be on the same page because Pilates is amazing. You have someone who doesn't have the joy for that and that doesn't bring them anything, that's not going to bring them to the table. And if I have someone who wants to just get in shape and I'm constantly trying to get them to do a show or do this or do that or lift really heavy, they're not going to show up for that. And rightly so. When somebody comes to me and they say they want to just lose 10, 12 pounds or they want to gain some muscle, they want to get more form going on or what they're doing, then that's their goal. It's not my job to pick their goal for them. I can talk to them and help them find it. Sometimes we're not sure, but we have conversation and we figure it out together. We get on the same page. Why that happens is because people specialize in certain things.
Exactly.
So they get a client, they want to keep that client.
Right.
So they're like, let's do this. And the client not really knowing right away what they just kind of go along with it. And then they get into it. It's like, well, this really isn't for me. They kind of feel pushed. They feel awkward leaving. They get stuck in a situation and it never ends well. So make sure you're working with someone who is working with you, what you want.
And I know me and you have a personal experience where one of my clients who I was personal training, she needed some help on coaching.
Right.
And, being honest, like you said, is number one. I am not a health coach, so I will not take somebody's money and tell them I'm going to coach you. You are certified in that, so I referred her to you.
Yes.
And we were working with her together.
Yes.
And that can always work out as long as you are open with the client.
As long as you're open with the client and you understand, like, I understand what my position is and what your position is. Like, when I have a client that's injured, a client that needs help in your capacity, I always send them to you, right? When I have somebody who wants expertise in Pilates, I'm like, okay, so you need to go. Because that's not something that I expertise in. I don't former. and I want them to get the most out of whatever it is that they want for themselves. So you send them to the expert in that field.
And even as a message to other trainers, I think this is valuable information because I've been able to be very successful being open like this. I've always referred people. It's been many clients who have come to me and they're like, I want to do 3 days a week, which to us is a nice paycheck. Right. But after talking to them, I find out, hey, we don't really make a good fit. So let me get you over here where you'll be better off. And those same people have referred me people because they saw that I was a genuine person and they actually saw the value in what I had, but it just wasn't for them.
Right. I totally agree. You want to get people fitted with the right kind of trainer, the right kind of people that are going to help them.
That's the main thing, right?
That's what's most important. And someone leading me to my first point is the accountability factor.
Yes.
And this is why when we talked about this before, I've talked about this with friends, you know, you go work out with friends to help hold you accountable. And I'm the same way with my friends. We're all too nice to each other. Okay, can't make it today, I understand, blah, blah, blah. Life gets busy, kids, this, that, the other thing. Or when you have a trainer, they're going to be like, show up. This is your goal. We're working together.
Because you're paying that person.
Right, you're paying them,
exactly.
Right? And you want to learn from them, and
right.
They should be learning from you every time. But your trainer can say to you, look, we're going to make excuses or we're going to create results. These are your two choices. Creating results, then you need to show up.
Mm-hmm.
So that is going to hold you the most accountable when you have that money on the line, when you have that accountability on the line, and when they're expecting you to show up. And that trainer is just as excited about watching you create those results as you are. I mean, I just love that. I'm so excited. Results that you don't always expect. Like I've had clients who have gotten off their inhaler. At the beginning when we were first working together, they would have to take their inhaler before and sometimes during to get through it. It got to a point where it was like when they just started out with it, then they didn't need it for the rest of the session, and then we got to a point where it didn't need it at all, every once in a while, and that was like so excited.
That's a great benefit.
You know, it means more to me, those kind of things, helping them live their lives better, really truly feeling better inside the body. That means a lot to me. So when we can hold each other accountable, I'm there for you,
right.
You're showing up, doing the work, and we're getting these kind of results, that
it makes all the difference in the world.
That's what you want to see.
It really does.
That's what you want to see.
Yeah, so I mean, I think for me with the accountability piece, because I am, like, you're more, I think, more focused, like your specialty is weight loss and helping people achieve those type of goals. Mine is more functionality, and I have a lot older clientele, more problematic people. So, you know, that accountability for them, it may not look like they're working as hard as maybe some of the other clients, because we're in a gym where we have several trainers working together.
Oh, right.
But it's very interesting to me to see that each person is working at their own capacity.
Yeah.
You know, so like a good trainer is going to put you in a place where you can succeed. And that's what I was always taught. Now, maybe you won't ever be able to do everything in that exercise regimen, but the modifications of a good trainer will at least get you to the point where you can do a modification of that exercise.
Exactly. Like when you're first starting out with someone with a push-up and their hands are wide and their knees are on the floor and they're feeling like, well, this isn't really push-up. I'm like, well, yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Starting at the beginning. Let's get the form down correct. I'm a real stickler for that, and I know you are too.
Oh, yes.
Let's get this down. I have worked with people who have worked with trainers for years who have come in, and I see them do a push-up, and I'm like,
and I'm going to be honest with you, Rebecca. Push-up may be one of the hardest exercises to teach because I've been in this industry for 8 years now, and I've exercised my whole life. First day of exercise class, I stood up like, I'll show you the perfect push-up, and I got the big, you know, because you didn't turn on the right muscles, you're going too far down. That is why what we do has true value, because you think you know. And I always give this analogy to people. When your car breaks down, Rebecca, what do?
Oh, right away you're calling the mechanic.
Exactly.
You can't run the car unless it's running correctly.
Right. And even to you guys out there who are handy, let's say you got one of those newer vehicles that has all the gadgets, so they make it so that you can't do anything but take it to the dealership.
To the dealership,
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you take that car to the dealership. Now I ask, is your car more important or is your body more important?
Well, exactly. Your body is more
right.
important.
But you'll hear people all the time saying, I don't need a trainer. I know about the body. Well, how do you know? Did you go to school for it?
Right.
Yeah.
What's the knowledge that we're coming at?
Right.
And when you're doing something like a push-up, You cannot watch yourself do a push-up.
You sure can. And if you don't ever turn on your serratus during a push-up, then you don't know what you're doing. So you may need to go see a fitness professional. And if you don't know what your serratus is, you probably need to go see a fitness professional.
And depending on what you want to work, because if you're getting your hands wide and you're working your back, and then if you want to work your triceps more, you need to bring those hands together like a triangle.
That's right.
So it kind of depends on what it is you're trying to work.
It's true. So it's so many different aspects to even one exercise. And a push-up is one of the more simple exercises, really, when you get down to it. But if you don't know about what the mechanics of what your goal is, like you said, if you're trying to work back or you're trying to broaden the chest or you're trying to work lower pecs, upper pecs, it's a whole myriad of things that you can do.
There's a whole myriad of things. Forward, fingers wide, hands together, triangle position. And that's just the hands. That's getting in that plank position correctly. Making sure you're not dipping and you're not piking. Feet together. For a regular push-up part, depending on what kind of aspect of the push-up that we're doing. All of that matters. And you don't think about it when you're just watching somebody do it. It looks so simple, but realize that there's a lot of information that goes into just that one move. And it's like that for every single move, which is why it is 3 pages to write out how to do an exercise and 30 seconds to stand there and show somebody. So take that time, even if you're just starting, if you don't want to be with a trainer forever, and quite frankly, you shouldn't need to be. You should be learning from that trainer. If that trainer is keeping you under their thumb, say, and just kind of stringing you along with little nuggets of information so that they can milk you out of it as you're going, that's not the kind of trainer that, not to say that you're not getting a good workout, not to say that you're not learning anything, but you should really be learning how to take those workouts, learn how about your body, how you're working out, and take that to the gym eventually. That's what I want from my clients. I want them to be able to do it on their own. I want to hear texts from them like I do. Just did this workout at home. I'm so excited. I feel great. I'm like smiling from ear to ear. I have lines all over my face from smiling so hard. That's what I want to hear, that you guys are doing it on your own. We can't make it that night. Something's going on. The girls will get together and work out together. I'm like, do it. I'll send you the workout. I trust them. I've been working with them for years. They like something new all the time. They come in. We work out together. We can't do it together. I'm like, you girls, go do it. Here it is.
Exactly. I will give people programs, like as a personal trainer, I'll give them a program, like say they sign up for 5 sessions. I know they live an hour away. And I will put together this program and critique it for them and video it for them and send them on their way. Because at the end of the day, there are millions of people who need our help. And I don't care how many trainers are out here, there are never enough good ones. So as long as you take pride in knowing your business and understanding the body, I think you should take an approach to really, like Rebecca says, educating your clients. There isn't a client I have that doesn't know where their piriformis is or who doesn't know their hip flexor complex. They know these things because I have to teach them. Because if I'm not around and their back goes out and I have kept all this information to myself, what good is that doing?
It doesn't do them any good. They're there to learn all kinds of things, not just to get that hour workout. They need to learn about their bodies and what works. And as clients, you need to be honest with us. You need to tell us, I'm not feeling great today. I'm here, but I'm feeling kind of dizzy. Maybe we shouldn't do some plyo today. I'll get clients, and they don't want to say anything. 45 minutes into an hour, and then they'll tell me they gave blood an hour before they came. Like, no. Those are things to tell me at the beginning or at the beginning of the session.
Exactly. And as a man trainer, it's a little awkward because I have to tell my female clients when you're cycling, if you're on that monthly time, please let me know because I don't want to have you doing 100 burpees and 100 roundhouses when you're in that state. We need to back it off a little bit during that period and then do things that are more conducive to the flow. When that's done, but I mean, that's a little awkward. But at the end of the day, I am a professional and I have to approach women like that. Like, don't come in here and don't tell me what's going on with you. I mean, like, if you'll tell me your knee is bothering, you have to tell me about that too, because all of it's important.
At the beginning.
At the beginning, right. Don't tell me it halfway through when you're limping.
Right, exactly. I hurt my knee yesterday.
Right.
Well, tell me at the beginning and make sure that you eat. And those are also very important things, making sure, and this is something that we'll talk about.
That's a whole other topic, But you're right. Making sure that they have, because I think we've all had people come in and have to leave or can't finish a workout or puke.
So I was going to say,
right.
they throw up or they have to lay down on the floor and you
right.
ask them, so what was your day like today? Well, I never did get to stop home.
Right.
And I didn't drink enough water today. And
exactly.
I didn't eat anything before I came. And I'm like, yes, again, all things to tell the trainer at the beginning. Because we'll back off. Look, you know what? Let's not do this today. Or go get something. Or, you know, a lot of times I'll just keep things in my car that then I will bring in for people, like, here, sit down and eat this.
Yes.
And then we'll start in about 10, 15 minutes if you feel better.
And one way I can tell a good trainer from just experience, and I look at you as a great trainer.
Oh,
and what I do is I see you assess people in a functional way, and you rarely keep people on machines. That's one of the things I love most about your style of training, because you make people work for it. A machine is great, but if you're paying a trainer a lot of money to put you on a machine, maybe you can tell that trainer, I can do that after we do the workout you have planned for me. Because as you get stronger and you get healthier, you want to get the most benefit out of what we're doing. So I think being functional in the way that a lot of trainers here at Impact are really makes me happy to be around, and I gain a lot of knowledge and expertise just by working alongside of you guys.
Oh, that's very sweet of you to say. I feel the same way about you, and I do feel that way about machines. Machines are great to work singular parts of the body, and it is important if you're going to work one, especially one that you've never used before, that you know how much weight needs to be on there and how to get in it correctly and use it correctly. But when you're outside of them and you're working the body, that's when you can really tell, look, shoulders back, get them down, form this, you're leaning, tell whether people lean with their hand on their hip on the right and their hip out on the left, you know, or whatever, because that's their go-to to make them feel more comfortable. And you're watching, as a trainer, you're watching for all that, because then you know they'll come in and go, well, it hurts on the side. Well, do you stand like that? Okay, so then you can tell. And then you can work with that and understand it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they got to work for it.
And I mean, that's important, because you don't want to just be going to a trainer who is not really focused on you, looking at the phone while they're working out with you, looking at other females if you're in that commercial gym setting. I used to see a lot of guys doing that. And honestly, I used to keep a lot of clientele just because my focus was always on the person.
Correct.
It is always about making sure your needs are met, making sure that your goals are being met. And if they're not, then we need to sit down and reset or talk about why we're not accomplishing them.
Oh, right. You need to focus on the client. You should not be looking at your phone. You should not be eating. Water is fine. Your water with you. And I think that sets a great example for clients that you are drinking your water all day. Reminds them to do it as well. I'm all for that. But even just, if I have clients doing box jumps, I want to make sure those heels are coming all the way up on the box and not hanging over the back. I mean, you're watching their whole body as they're moving to make sure the arms are in the right place, the back straight, the heels are coming up, the heels are pushing out, and they're feet are in the right position, out, toes are forward. You're watching for all these things. It might not look like you're just looking at that person, but there's a lot going on in the head of the trainer. Corrections coming out of the mouth saying you need to do this, you need to do that, let's stop a second, blah, blah, blah. Now it's time to rest. And having a trainer that understands that those rest periods in between sets or between whether you're doing 2 exercises back to back and taking a rest or doing a whole monster set and taking a rest, that rest of getting the heart rate down is very important.
It's very important.
That is part of the workout.
It is
important to get that heart rate back down before we spike it back up again. Depending on what the workout is, they're all a little bit different depending on what you're doing. Very, very true.
The last piece I want to leave people with is the stretching, because I know you're a big proponent of the stretching.
The thumbs are up here. You can't see it, but my thumbs are up.
And I know that you take the time to make sure that your clients are taking care of, their hamstrings are not too tight, their IT band. I've seen you do this many times, and I've seen the results. The clients don't come in hurting. They feel good. So if you have a trainer that does not help you with stretching, you need to either talk to them about it or figure out how to get into a stretching regimen that'll benefit you so that you don't run into an injury.
Yes, correct. And so a couple things that I'm just going to back up just a second. You want to make sure that before you start working out that you warm up for 10 minutes. So you warm up those muscles. That is very important. You don't want to come in and just kind of hit it. Get warmed up. then get into the workout. And then when the workout is over, then you want to make sure you're stretching. And I always want to make sure the arms are nice and elongated, that the back of the legs get stretched out. We're using a lot of the back of the body, which people don't do in day-to-day life. We use more forward. Most people are quad heavy. And so you want to make sure you're getting those hamstrings, those calves stretched out, right? You want to make sure you're stretching that hip, IT band out. You want to make sure, and as we're doing those exercises, we are breathing.
Yes, focus on the breathing, folks.
Yes, you hold the pose, not the breath.
That's right.
And that is something that people, and I'm guilty of it too, you get into a pose and you're holding it, and all of a sudden you realize you're holding your breath, and all it takes is for the trainer to say, let's breathe into the nose, out through the mouth, keep that flow of oxygen going. That really helps open up the body. It helps you to relax into the pose. You can get deeper into the pose, open up that flexibility. And I've seen people go from doing a forward fold and barely being able to get past their knees to now they're palming the floor. Right. And the breath and coordination is amazing. Yeah.
So, guys, thank you for listening once again. This was another edition of Fitness Over 30. I hope you guys got a lot out of it. I'm Omari, joined with
Rebecca.
You guys have a good evening. Take care.